this fast.
Fucking 1 sec, I'm gonna cough already. Jesus Christ. Fuck me, 1 minute into the VOD view and I'm already dying. This comp is fine. As I've said a million times, if shit doesn't work, you can always just go full sustain on control and try and, like, force point. Because, like, taking the point on control is way more important than winning the fight. Just like if you win a fight and then you just immediately flip, like, this is why, like, a lot of dive teams sucked during control, during dive meta, because they just always gave up control point for free. But yeah, like, either way, like, capping first on control is massive. Because you can actively gain value by doing nothing, right? Like, you just cap first, so winning the first fight is, like, super important. Which is why you can scout as well. Like, if they're on a comp you don't like, and you're like, we shouldn't really fight this, just go back and swap as well.
Zaya, Ryan,
Okay.
I'm using a nade.
So they're on, yeah, so they're on Brawl.
They should be really weak to Pharah Echo.
Right, I'm rolling, I'm rolling through now, rolling through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the run. I'm just spamming shield for now.
I'm rolling through now, rolling through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the...
So, the way that you do this against their comp is when they're on Brawl, on this map, is you have the roll here, and you have the roll here. You essentially just want to boop people to these corners away from the Reinhardt shield, right? So that your Fire and your Echo can just fucking load damage into it. You want your Echo one side, you want your Farah here, and you just want to be cross-angling as much as possible. Your Orisa cannot go on point now, basically, because she'll just get blown up, and you'll have 0 point presence. So, she also can try and set up halts as well. Ideally, for Hydras, like, you want to look to pull the squishies in the backline together, so, like, CF can, like, one-tap with a barrage, because it doesn't matter how bad he is on Farah, any retard on Farah can hit a damage-boosted rocket barrage off a halt, and CF is actually quite a good DPS, and, like, he is not retarded, so... I'm talking about, like, basics, like, low diamond, like... I've been telling this to, like, low diamond teams, it doesn't matter how bad your DPS are, if they're not confident on a hero, for example, like, Holt just gives them such an easy shot. But yeah, as I said, CF is not retarded at all, so either way, it's still very, very free. Barrage against their comp is actually quite dangerous, because it's the one time that your Farah is vulnerable. So...
On the run.
The Echo,
I'm
I
shooting
don't know if it's the best one here, because you've got the pharmacy.
On the right.
Just like the Echo pokes, but
Right shield low.
it's not really optimal. I don't think Echo is a poke kind of hero.
From me.
But good, we have like the triangle. This is something I talked about in the dive video, so we've like kind of just bit that up. We have the triangle, so like our Mercy can dip down and heal Hydras, for example. Like he's got a double pocket here, he shouldn't die, hopefully.
They rushed me.
I can heal.
Sorry, into personal.
So yeah, like we give their Zarya 100 energy and she just melts off Arrow.
We regroup.
If we play for spam, we can win this. We have to just like heavily play for spam, that's all we do.
Yeah.
Zaya's really trying to kill me.
Yeah, they're really pushed up here. I'm pulling them back.
Yeah.
On the right. You can spam them out probably.
This is really dependent on your DPS. Like if your DPS aren't, if you're just not spamming and you're not getting picked, you have to swap the comp.
There's LA. They're gonna try to freeze you. Oh, Ryan shield 1, Ryan shield 1, Ryan shield 1, Ryan shield 1.
Ryan's
Ryan is kinda low. Shooting forward now, pulling.
Slamming.
Pulling on the left.
The slam is also another like thing that helps damage, as well as like displays.
There's a reaper on me, I have to go. They're rushing me main.
I have to heal Finna, oh shit, I fail.
They fuck me man, like.
Okay, we have one ult fight here.
They just wall Hydras and kill
If
him.
that doesn't work, then we, probably Farah, we're gonna go for Nano Brush. We're very close.
I think the Ana might actually be a throw pick here, right? Especially against their comp. Just what the fuck does Finna do if they wall Hydras off and just run at him? Like, deadass, like, and in general, like, you're committing Finna, who's a whole healing resource. He could potentially be damaged with Zen, or he could be a little bit of extra with Moira or Baptiste. Like, you commit basically all of Finna's attention pretty much to keeping Hydras up, because I'm guessing this is chaotic because yeah, it is chaotic. But like chaotic's gonna be like zipping about and shit on ball, so he's gonna need like a couple seconds of heals, really. So I guess that's not too bad. And the nano barrage is not too bad. But I'm just questioning the value of the Ana in this comp. Because especially against them, if they just run at the Orisa and kill him, like, he gets no value.
Close to brush, we're 90.
Reaper's hiding that side.
I should need a bit of heals. Man. Gonna. Actually, I gotta help back on.
Reaper might be going behind.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Reaper
It's
right
just
side.
all about where you set up.
Okay.
You have to play slow with this comp, which is suckish when you especially lose first fight. Because now, like, you've kind of only lost one fight, then it's 50%.
Are we...
So.
Okay. Are you ready for the nano brush here?
Yep. Yeah, should be.
Oh, I'm gonna shield for it. Oh my god, the Reaper's just...
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
See, like, they're playing super fast tempo. This is how you play against this comp. Like, you guys are walking into this fight, getting ready to set up, and they just run out and kill you because you're not focused, you're not ready to fight.
Yeah, they're right.
Fucking hell, they just...
Look how fast they play there. They play super early. Like, you're trying to set up a nano barrage, and they just run and kill your tanks.
We just didn't use ults this fight. We just walked in and didn't use ults. So we gotta be...
Because they killed you before you could use ults, and they're gonna have their ults now. And their ults in this situation are 100% better.
more aggressive. Walk in, use barrage early.
Just gonna use it
Especially if their Zarya catches a cheeky grab on your pharmacy. I doubt she's gonna go for it because it's risky and not a lot of Zaryas do it. But if she does, she just grabs your pharmacy. That you just win the fight. Like, you just lose the fight.
before I die. Like, they're gonna push onto me
Yeah.
when we use it then.
Pushing point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
sure.
you can peel nano barrage when
Let's
they
go.
rush on.
Pulling them into it.
You got me?
Let's go nano barrage, nano barrage, nano
thanks,
barrage.
Oh, what the? What?
You can bind on me.
Oh yeah.
One there, more on point.
That was my fault.
Sorry, I'm just gonna
On
walk
the
by.
main, on the main, Blizzard. Get the main, get the main, I'm on main.
Oh, Reaper behind, right, Reaper right, anti. He has no wraith.
Telling you,
Please tell me you don't all die to a Reaper. Good.
Eve is coming.
In, 2 times, what's your...
Dude, that's like a mini throw,
Sure.
but
We get a fine?
I don't know.
Fox fine.
They have a lot of ults.
Right side.
Playing mine in?
Yeah.
sleeping?
So the reason that's like a mini throw is it's just general shit. Like, because you're not there, like, CF dies. So like splitting from CS, like from CF, is like really dangerous. Because like you have to res him now, otherwise, because he needs to set up after you win this fight, right? Like, the way you get value now is because of Pharah. Pharah is super good once you cap points, you can spam the angles. So post fight with the Pharah, make sure she doesn't get exit picked.
You
Cut
can,
that.
you
Back
can
up,
stay
back up.
far
And
or go
you
fast
dying,
zero, either way.
you dying here kind of causes CF to get exit picked and you lose the fight because of it.
Yeah, my bad.
We've got Echo Duck coming in, we've Valking.
Yeah, I can bongo this. Fox fine. Eve is coming.
In.
He has no wraith.
Main. Get the main, I'm on main.
Oh, Reaper behind,
Well, so we never deal with this Reaper.
right, Reaper right, anti.
That's on your Pharah, to be fair. But you guys should be outside. Like, your Pharah does not want to be on the point here.
He has no wraith.
Like, your Pharah and your Echo do not really want to be on the point. They want to be, like, spamming from outside. They want to be, like, spamming through these windows here.
Reaper.
But remember, in fights like this, if you can, you have to make sure it's super important that you keep, especially your Pharah, into a comp like this. You have to make sure, because that's how you win, right? Like, your spam versus their brawl, so you should be able to poke them out, right? But if they just go point, and you can't poke them out on the way, that's how you get them, right? Like, you kill them in the rotation. It was like when you played against the Bastion comp back in the day. Like, you'd rush their rotation, and it's like reverse, right? Like, you poke them out in their rotation. So you make sure that you drain their resources before they're allowed to use them to sustain on point. Like, you make them use it to sustain before they get on the point. So it's absolutely crucial that you try and keep your Pharah alive.
Eve is coming.
Basically, you just try and keep your Pharah alive,
Okay.
so she can set up to
Either
spam
way.
next fight. Because this is like all spam that she could be getting right now. They've just fast recontested and used 4 ults, and you lose. Unless Robbie carries on
We got a
Reaper.
touch, we got a touch.
Main. They have no wall.
Yeah.
On the main. Main ice block.
You shouldn't look for a res here.
Whip on the right.
Like, just look,
This is in the back one. You see
Yeah.
one? Dead.
I don't think you look for a res here anyway. Like,
Main left side.
you can't risk getting yourself killed, especially in a situation like this where you potentially not healing for half a second could get someone else killed.
Mid
It's again, you have to wait up. If you're trying to res like an Echo with ult and you potentially let your Orisa die, well, even then you lose point versus. If you let your Lucio die,
Yeah.
most of the time it's like you're letting a tank die to res a squishy, which is like never optimal.
He's just ignoring me.
Run. I'm healed.
Pulling, Ryan. I'm on Ryan.
Damage boost.
Here, run half.
Fuck, I'm gonna die.
He doesn't have yet. Fine though. Pulling left side. Again.
So now you have to play
I've out
Spark.
soon. I've out.
Pop it. Nice.
Ryan's half.
Reaper low. He's already used the Mega.
I'm pulling the back main.
I'm coming back on Diva.
Okay. Let me. I'm gonna go Ana. Let me pick you. Let me fight you.
I feel like I could go on for like 30 minutes about every time you use Valk just to go and pistol someone, when it's like never worth because you just never kill them fast enough. But it's whatever.
Would have longer early. I don't know if you have time to switch to Ana, to be honest. I don't know if
In that situation, like, it doesn't matter because the fight's already won and their Reaper splits. But like, if the fight isn't won and the Reaper doesn't split, like, you just never go for it. But I don't know if you go for it because I've, like, just, you know, that's the thing. But just be careful of that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm here.
Valk is the ultimate like AFK mercy. Like, you're at your most valuable when you're in Valkyrie. So that's when you really need to be using your beam. Oh, you're all fucking dead.
Oh, what?
That's a sick bomb from there.
I'm on the line.
That lands. Where does that land, by the way?
Spam them out.
Ryan's half.
Hook someone.
Oh, what?
So that explodes like there. You get kind of soyed, I think. Either way, GR.
I'm on the line.
What?
You just get Diva bombed.
Warrior on me. I mean, the Reaper on me.
Maze on me. On the side. Nice.
Good
Use
beat.
ults. Use ults. Copy anything you want.
Tell me your bomb. Go B.
They beat.
So at this point, like, you just kind of lose it. So you can play like super risky shit here because you're already like.
Maybe more damage.
Yeah. But I would have thought that we could have done like pulse stages when they just rushed me. But I don't
Okay,
know.
on this one,
Maybe
do we
I
do
should've
Sim and May?
They had Zarya. They swapped Diva, which they should have done. But even still, when they have Zarya, the pull stakes is a good idea, but like it's not too bad, right? Like, you pull them back and then you sticky them, but it's a case of like then you're, you know, if it's like this for example, and you guys are set up like here with your Orisa shield, here's your little Orisa, and your Echo's like here, because she wants to be like off-handling, right? Because like the team are going to be rotating towards you, like this is their block towards you. So like your Echo needs to set up. She can't set up behind the shield where she's safe, because then she doesn't have the angle. So she needs to go off the angle, and then the stickies alone are just going to get healed up. She then need to probably dip in, try and get an execute, and then back out again, which is like super just risky in general. The stickies and spam barrage, it's just coordination. If you hit that fat hole and then you get the hole and all the stickies and it's not bubbled or anything, and then you get the spam from CF, then yeah, you probably kill a target. Because the spam damage with the stickies and the boosted Pharah is just way too much. But it's just all about how you set it up.
May and go points.
Yeah.
I just think that
Okay.
their path is just too easy there. Like, they can go inside, they can go straight to point, they can go through under Elephant Room. Like, there's just too many fucking places.
Where do I use the TP?
Actually, go back, Finna. Go back.
Use TP right away. Just.
Yeah, right side.
Yeah.
Right side.
Okay, whatever. It's fine. We go point. Straight to point.
Yeah. We have to go points.
Yeah. Yeah, they're high ground.
Yeah, so you always go straight to point with the Mei. Good.
Check point.
Yeah.
I think this is something I taught you, but I knew this from Bandy, who's like our old Mei player back in the day. Like, you always go point with this comp. It's just optimal.
Yeah,
we do.
we do.
You just play for war. You just play for war now.
Just gonna go behind.
Yeah. Far Ash, yeah, okay.
Just if they're on brawl, then you have the wall, and if they're on spam, then you have point to sustain. Because you just wall off a choke.
Yeah.
Far behind us.
Yeah, far behind now.
Whoever's on your Mei, I think it's CF probably. You can let your team know, and it's crucial that you know that you're basically going for like a resource wall. So like, just let your team know that when you intend to drop a wall to cover a choke, so that your tanks can recover resources. Which is, the wall is like a pseudo shield, right? So it was a shield rotation in Halt Hook, right? So you go like Halt, you'd whiff hooks to the fortify, then the next one you'd go for a wall, and then the next one you'd have like a free hook for whatever. But like the wall is basically like an extra shield in this comp, which is why Mei is like so busted, because she has CC, she has an ult that CCs, she has an invulnerability, and she has a shield basically, and she has 250 HP, and she has no damage fall off on an ult fire that's not that hard to aim. It's a fucking busted hero. Anyway, as long as it's meta, it's gonna be played. So just let your team know when you're going for like a wall that lets them generate resources. It's not a lot, but you could get like probably a quarter to half of DM back. You could get a bit of shield back as well. And the one thing you want to be careful is just make sure you're not taking meaningless poke, right? Like try not to get your resources drained really early. It's all about resource management in this comp.
My shield's gonna break. I need help.
Yeah. We're on it.
And also as well, like you gotta have a plan for when your Reinhardt shield goes down, for example. So you're fine here, right? Because you're playing the slow game. So like, as this fight goes on, Robbie's just gonna fucking laser everyone because he's literally a toaster.
It's down. D.Va low, D.Va
Really
low.
good against D.Va as well. You
Trying to go
probably
back.
didn't need to wall that. In general, always try and wall off the pharmacy spam, I think.
Reloading.
Do you want to push out here onto the Ash on left side?
Unless do they have a Reinhardt? Are they playing Rhine pharmacy?
Pharmacy right.
Okay, I'm on the Mercy, Mercy.
Mercy half.
Yeah, she's low.
Mercy, nice. We get far? Oh no.
In general, like, this is a fucking micro I've picked up from a league, but like, this applies to it's like Overwatch as well. Like, the damage you're doing to Mercy here is like kind of negligible, right? Oh no, I guess you're doing it to deny her own self-healing, but either way, like, so it's a mini micro league tip. This might relate. Hopefully, I'll see where my point goes. There's like a dragon pit, and then there's a dragon that you have to kill. But the job of the support is to stand outside, because the damage you do to the dragon is negligible. It's like it doesn't matter at all. But your job is to basically just like ward other people off. Like here, your job as a support is to enable, right? Like it's literally like the support role. Like the damage you're doing to the Pharah and the Mercy is like not a lot. So you just want to make sure that you're in good position. There's potential here. This is something Dirt needs to focus on individually. Is multitasking. If you can shoot the Mercy here, that's fine, but you miss the opportunity to speed your much more important damage in, for example. So like, in League, it would be like, you're not warding, so they just don't steal Dragon Pit, for example. If any of you play League, that's a cool analogy. In the simple Overwatch terms, you're just not you're potentially denying your team the opportunity to snowball. And this character snowballs, and this character snowballs. This character literally snowballs because of that fucker. Lord W. Anyway, yeah, so you potentially just be careful about how you play Lucio post fight.
Okay, I'm gonna have beat.
I'll leave heal feed that.
Yeah, I have beat. It's fine.
Like you wanna make sure. Just potential that you could have like snowballed on tanks there.
We can symbol here in like window.
Yeah.
Most of the time in fights like that, like their tanks
They're gonna have
rushable.
rush.
Their tanks are so rushable here.
They have rush.
Yeah,
I can wall the
sure.
barrage.
Yeah.
Or try to.
That's fine. Or just wall and then engage.
I mean, your Pharah, your D.Va should be looking for basically only Pharah this fight.
Yeah.
Me, just me.
Falcon knife.
Fuck, I hesitated too much.
Melee, they're gonna rush. They're rushing for mine.
You should beat now.
Mine right now.
Me, just me.
Falcon knife.
Fuck, I hesitated too much.
Melee.
Ryan low.
This is still actually a fine beat. You should have just done it a bit earlier.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm not Washington.
Okay, that's weird. So you either do it earlier, or then you do it like a couple seconds later to save the people on point.
On the right.
Ryan.
And then you just like play for stall. Just if you'd beat it a bit later, high dose to look.
Okay,
No, you probably
we
still
don't-
do beat it earlier.
That's my
You should try and save
now?
Chaotic here. Because he just gets stiffed by the barrage, because he just like tanks it all to the face.
Pharmacy's far behind.
Okay.
Like really.
But yeah, like D.Va's difficult in this comp. In the fights they have barrage, he needs to be 100% glued on.
Okay, we should
To the
hurry
Pharah.
hurry to points.
If you deny the Pharah barrage there, like you just win that fight.
Okay.
You could also have fucking sim walled the barrage. Hello, I'm retarded. You should have sim walled that barrage. That barrage should have been sim walled. You can play your sim in a corner where Pharah doesn't spam. Like, there's only two angles the Pharah can barrage from, right? One side of the fucking gate and the other fucking side of the gate. Like, this gate or that other fucking gate over there. So, like, you can possibly sim wall that. If you just put the sim wall in her face, like, she has to look elsewhere to barrage. Otherwise, she's literally going to die. And then you just camp her body. Just the Mercy will, like, the body will be on the floor. So then you can, like, camp the Mercy res. And that's when your D.Va can camp the res. But you have shield, and you have DM, and you have Ice Wall. Those three, any combination of the two should stave off a barrage. And you had beat as well. So you, honestly, you guys did a really poor job of dying to barrage there. That's just awareness. That's just like people not looking at front and then people looking at Pharah who need to look at Pharah. Like,
3, 2, 1.
they just punish you for a lack of awareness there.
Break wall, break wall, break wall, break wall, break it, break it, break it, break it, break it.
It's down, it's down. Far behind, far behind.
I shot a 3.
I did that mid block.
Yeah.
Barrage, barrage. Oh shit.
Shot barrage again. Kills the Pharah though?
He's one, but I can't-
Okay, we have to reset. We have to reset.
I got
think.
baby.
It's just you though.
I'm gonna switch somewhere right here.
Wall almost.
Again.
The
So it looked like they set up the spam angles, she uses barrage post-fight, and for some reason she manages to get it back. I have no idea how.
Let's go
Are we just like not DMing the shots?
Bombed, I shouldn't have bombed.
Yeah, we don't have
No.
Simon quite yet though.
Well, just try to get some.
I partly want to flame kill Tikich, I feel like part of this is on him. You can't eat all the Pharah spam, right? But like, you have to be looking at that Pharah in rotation, just DMing the shots as she goes through. So she shouldn't be able to barrage, and then barrage again at the end of the next fight. That should not be allowed.
Speeding, speeding, speeding.
So he's looking there, he's looking there.
Go, go, go,
I'm
go.
gonna wall.
In on the tanks, in on the tanks, in on the tanks.
Yeah, round one, round one, round one.
Speed away, it's fine, no one dies to that bomb. Good.
I can't get out of that, I can't get out of that, I can't get out of that.
Milo? No, I'm not gonna do it.
Damn, our sim war usage is kind of garbage here, not gonna lie. Sorry,
We
Robbie.
have one more, we have one more.
But yeah, our sim war usage was, our ult usage in general was garbage. The beat was okay, the sim wars were pretty bad. We mailed into a lost fight. Hydra shattered early, but we had no follow-ups, that was kind of scuffed. The coalescence is kind of garbage. Okay. But I didn't hear a lot of deliberate planning about ult usage and like how we win with it, you know? Like we kind of just roll out and hope.
Okay, I got touch.
Oh,
So this feels like a problem that like a lot of teams have around this ELO, where you're all good individual mechanical players. It's just macro sense is there. It just needs to be prompted, and it's not thought about too much. Like you need a macro plan at this level. Like what ults are you using, and how are you going to use them? Eventually it becomes clockwork, so if someone says, we have Doom this fight, everyone knows, okay, we're going to try and pull Doom ult, for example, in that meta, or, okay, we're going to grab this fight, okay, so that means we're going to wait for them to push into the corner, I'm going to grab, like, even still, there's not a lot of what I want to do with my ultimate this fight going on between you guys, and it's definitely costing you. And that comes from anyone. Like, you guys should know, like, how you can use your ults. You're on a sustain comp. You have a lot of defensive cooldowns, which can go against something like a Pharah Barrage. So it's just, there needs to just be more, deadass more communication about what you're doing. Pharah punishes just a lack of awareness and a lack of communication. It punishes not playing fast enough in Brawl, but in general it just punishes a lack of awareness and communication. It's people not knowing like what their job is and like when they need to actually look at the Pharah. Someone like a Reinhardt kind of just needs to shield the Pharah on rotation, but then he needs to trust that his team, because he needs to shield the front line, right? Especially if the Pharah's on the off angle. Someone like D.Va or Sigma can just shield it. Someone like Mei has the wall, so you can look at the front line, and then if you're literally being spammed because you can feel and hear the rockets, then you just turn around and wall it. Like you can stay in a corner, so you look at front line, and then you do like a quick 180 to look at the Pharah, for example.
I forgot about that.
Is that chaotic?
Why did? Oh no, someone. We do have OT actually, yeah. That's true.
Where the hell is Wood? Oh.
I'm slapped.
Yeah, I'm dead, so it's only Fennec for heals, and he's sleeping. Careful. Okay, you guys have no heals, no heals.
Ryan is dead.
I still under.
Huge.
Nice, McCree.
You know flash?
Look at them. Ball?
Back off.
I don't know.
Did we freeze her out of Barrage? Pod, so we won this fight. How did we win this fight? I didn't look. I guess we just go a point. This is probably just us getting a good rotation, right? So I'm guessing we give them for free? No, we lose. Okay. Oof. Okay, that's fine.
You said point and I went point.
We just don't we don't rotate and we get fucked by a fire barrage. That's fine.
Oh, he
Sometimes that happens, you know.
It's only when you're making pushes that the team like.
You should probably play Diva instead of this point, instead of Sigma.
Oh, he's straight. Push.
Big. That's massive.
No, that.
Like this, Robbie has no fucking, what's the word? He has no business getting a pick here. So the fact that he's got this is pod, so you really need to capitalize on this. Because he's like kind of micro carried this for you. This fight should be very, very winnable from here.
Okay.
You could have pulled booped there, unlucky. Hydros is in a good position.
They're inside. They're all playing inside.
Yeah, walk the point.
They're scared as fuck.
So they're just going to try and rush out and kill someone, right? Or they're just going to give up the point for free. Weird champ. Okay, Robbie has killed the Mercy as well.
Okay.
Ball looking for boob.
Oh,
I got the ball.
Really good lamp from Finnet.
Pulling mine back.
Oof.
I'm slapped.
Yeah, I'm dead, so it's only Finna for heals, and he's sleeping.
Why the fuck does she barrage
You guys
this?
have no heals, no heals.
Ryan is dead.
I surrender.
Huge.
Nice, McCree.
You guys have no heals, no heals.
Ryan is dead.
I surrender.
Huge.
Nice, McCree.
Oh,
Kill him.
fucking Sanders in an off tank and he rocks it. Damn.
I don't know. He's
Gamer.
just flying around.
That's almost huge.
That was a big rock.
Nice job.
Okay, can we anchor with the wrestler on point and then Free can
Oh,
you
shit,
come
yeah.
back right with me?
Game pull fire. Like,
I can just demo you.
Oh!
Fuck, that was bad.
it's okay. If they're going
You
top
should,
left,
he should like High Noon like now.
I look for ball top left now.
Because I'm pretty sure High Noon with this rock, this is a fat halt from Hydros by the way. Holy shit. One of them should die here. 100%. It's so unlucky.
Oh, big rock.
Fuck, that was bad.
It's okay.
That's a bad High Noon. He should just do it early.
It happens.
There rotates back.
That's just like reactionary. Like,
They have a diva now.
hey, he's really not going to know if the halt is massive there.
Rotate the other side.
Yeah,
Like Hydros kind of
they're-
throws
they're
that
all
blind
the
and
way
hits a
behind,
fat
All
one.
the way behind us now, all the way behind us.
So you just rotate, yeah. You maybe need to be here to speed them across.
I can help.
In potential, it's dangerous. They could speed onto these two here.
Them if you want to.
I'm going this.
Okay.
So remember, like you're fucking Lucio. You're not getting value just by vibing here. You need to reposition these guys when you rotate. That is the job of Lucio.
Yeah, you can go. Let's go for it.
Big.
It's big.
It's just a big fucking, fucking flux.
I'm on.
Okay.
Big.
It's big. Fire. Ryan.
Yeah, you can.
You can tell Sanders not played a lot of Sigma. In general here, you just like general Sigma tip. In case anyone fucking needs it, in case any of you have to ring Sigma again. When you flux like this is massive. You have to protect the slam damage. You can hide, and then when it comes in, you can float up onto this high ground. Also, in general, give yourself a shield. Like, Sander can put out a shield here when he goes up for the flux. So you can, when you slam down, you're not going to get CC'd as much, because you're literally behind the shield. So when you go up to the perfect height, you can shield yourself. In general now, before, you used to be able to just, like, farm in the air forever, right? Like, you should be able to just vibe in the air and, like, shoot people. Now you have to get them when they land. And it's fine to hit them when they land because they're stunned. So it's an easy, like, 50 on the up, half the HP on the down, and then 120 into them. That kills basically any squishy, right?
Let's go for it.
Big.
You've really got to make sure that this slam damage goes off.
Run.
Again, a shield.
I'm on.
Just pop yourself a shield there.
It's okay. We win.
You win anyway,
Yeah.
which is super good.
Yeah, I'm on point.
But you don't win because of the flux, you win because you just run on the master.
Escalating.
It's fine.
Okay, nice. Right.
Okay.
Well, hey, we won a free fight basically, we
Those are
just use
points?
flux.
Yeah, he's gonna look for bib. Oh, bubble.
Fuck. I fed.
I'm on the Ryan.
Forgot about High Noon.
No shield.
C9.
They can't touch.
Oh, they touched
no.
just in time.
I'm gonna go High Noon.
Fuck.
High Nooning.
So you're behind this
Chaotic,
window.
can you hear us now?
Okay.
They
Fine.
used High Noon and they used.
Shatter.
Be inside. We should be in drop.
Why is he not an account
Okay,
called
okay,
Toad?
okay, let's go.
2, 1. Let's drop balls.
Okay,
Minus, by the way.
dropping.
Hey,
So the ball's going to be looking for the boop here, 100%.
Ball's gonna. Ball's behind. Far behind.
Pod, they're far and fed. Well, this Farah dies now, right? Fucking retard, holy shit.
Pulling right side now.
On a half.
You should go point here.
They're both dead.
I'm pinging some heals.
I'm on the left right now. I'm pulling left side. I'm pulling McCree left side. I'm on the mine. I'm on the mine. Mine is one.
Oh my god, the
Mine is
Mercy
one.
was
Mine is
one.
one.
How do you lose
I'm
this?
dead though. He pinned me off the map.
Yeah.
We're champ.
I'm stopping the ball.
I got slapped.
No, made it.
You got him.
That's a weirdest one to lose. How do you lose this? I actually don't know.
On the ball. On the ball.
Ah, so you get slammed.
Far behind, far behind.
Do you get slammed because Toast is looking at... Ah, so the Farah's like a hard distraction because we get
Okay, winnable.
wide-eyed at the Mercy, which we should. But we just don't forget about the front line.
On a half.
It's the same thing again. The Farah causes us all to turn around and Reinhardt slams.
Throwing them out, throwing them out.
They're both dead.
I'm pinging some heals.
We should have the resources here to like not let their ball just walk through. Like we have stuns and we have an ice wall.
I'm pulling McCree left side.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Damn, that's super lucky.
It's just their far went for the flank with the barrage, and
We
it's
have
just
barrage,
kinda...
that's why I wanted to go inside.
What?
Oh, okay.
I didn't even realize that.
I
Boop range.
ate the whole barrage.
I need rip.
I couldn't.
Yo, test it. And then
You've hit a...
Yeah, it was Virgin Wi-Fi. So.
Okay.
That's underrated as fuck.
Okay. So, I think Ryan Diva or Ryan Zarya?
Boys, what skin? NYXL, San Francisco Shocker, Titans.
Titans.
Nice, I rate it.
I'm gonna give the
old
I'll go-
Away or home?
Go.
I think home.
Home.
I'm going for home.
London's are always better.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Is the XQC girl an impression? Is Sunshine...
Yo, Rad Ray, walking pond. Yeah, here's no stack on
Yeah,
for
saw
join.
that.
You're right.
I did Titans
Yo,
still
Rad
at-
Ray, walking pond. Yeah, here's no stack on for join.
Surprisingly.
Is it an impression or...
For now, yeah.
They're gonna get 6 Ragnar for a game. Just look out for... Just look out
Hydros.
for 6 cool ones.
Yes, I am here.
Rude.
We love J-Match here.
Should've climbed up my wall. I'm assuming there's still no luck getting void.
Yes, no luck. MRC called him twice and he didn't answer. So
I'm
Pog.
gonna go for a nade as they come through choke.
okay.
Did they have a widow?
Are you gonna throw it up in the sky or what?
No, I'm just
Give him
gonna
a
be
widow?
like from the through hotel.
Oh, I see. I think Widow was meant to do
Farah.
just
They're Farah.
Okay.
interesting.
Okay. If they have far, then we need to rush them really hard.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes,
They're gonna have spam advantage. So heal up Robbie, and then we can go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, rush. Run. Nice. Okay.
Right, let's
Okay.
see how you take this engage.
Interesting.
Okay.
In hotel here, always.
If they have far, then we need to rush them really hard.
You need to rush them from hotel.
Okay.
Yes.
This should be basic. You guys should know this when they have a Farah. You retreat into hotel and you rush onto them
They're
from
gonna
hotel.
have spam advantage. So heal up Robbie,
The fact that
and
none
then
of you say go hotel and we rush them here is
Go.
retarded. Because
Okay.
I've told you this, like...
3,
Have I told you
2,
this a million
1.
times? Maybe not, but this should be obvious anyway. It's just general, like we're just taking
Rush.
post.
Run.
However, the
Nice.
goal is still there. Now we kill the Zarya. Now we kill the Zarya. Pod.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You guys have no
You're
heals.
done,
No
you're on
heals.
Why do...
Sorry. 1, rush. Run.
There's no reason you need to be here.
Nice.
Whatever, I go.
Sorry, next. Yeah. Oh, okay. You guys have no
You're done,
heals.
you're on
No
a- you're on a
heals.
squad.
Like, you need to be peeling for Finna here. You're on a sustain, like...
He's in window.
Okay.
Yeah, sit underneath.
Your
the
support split there, which is not good. Like, they both need to be next to each other. Like, you need to be getting Finna in your aura range and he needs to be able to shoot you.
Yeah.
The tanks are back.
Yeah.
Again, like, the damage you do
Yeah,
just
let's
is
go, tanks,
negligible.
Tanks.
I'm at it.
Iron
Yeah.
Vault.
So yeah, this time we just walk into a fucking
Finna.
shit ton of spam. We just walk into spam.
They have
Okay.
barrage, by the way.
Okay, nice.
This is all about pathing this. And this is why Farah sucks on King's Row, because of the amount of fucking things you can hide in and rush out onto them on. You can go high ground here and drop onto them on payload. You can go through here and rush out to them from pub. I think this is a pub. I think this is pub anyway. Like, you can... So many fucking flank angles. You can drop onto them from there. You can drop onto them out this window that's up there. You can drop into them from pub there. Like, there's just so many fucking options, dude. Like, I feel like fucking going full HTC level of speech because there's just no way that, like, if you play it well enough with a diva and with a Mei and shit, that Pharah gets value. Nice. Because it's such a low skybox as well. Like, you just murder their tanks.
Far behind, far behind. Okay.
Like, fucking Dorado third point has a higher skybox than Pharah, than Chindro.
We were split.
Yeah, we're split. So we go then. This is why we're dying, because we're split.
Okay,
We're not a death ball. We're not a death ball.
Just pin. Just.
If we play in a death ball enough, we can sustain against the Pharah spam.
Okay. Okay.
It's all about just taking fights early.
I'm in
In a slow fight, in a fight that goes long, they will kill you because of the Pharah value.
5
So
seconds.
you need to win the fight as fast as possible, and the way you do that is by forcing them off the payload.
we need to look for
Because the fuck is the Pharah gonna do if everyone else on her team is dead?
another amp engage here. Okay.
She might kill one.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, going. Go.
Oh, that. Made it.
It's fine. Main nano is absolutely fine.
Fire. Nice.
Nice. Hydros did his job. Woo!
Yeah. Take Mega. Okay.
Not Hydros. Celtic. Hydros also did his job. Good. Woo! We played that fight well. You love to see it.
Right, can we taxi Fennec?
That was a good fight.
yeah,
That is what you do.
We need to get out of this corner. See if we need to get out of this corner.
Why do we give up this corner? We think we need to touch C.
They only use barrage, right?
Yes, they only use brush. They're gonna have copy. They're gonna copy your. They're gonna copy Ryan.
I don't think we need to give that up. Maybe. It's hindsight.
This time, can we rush Zion for the guy?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they use personal rush. Go.
Blizzard.
They copy Lucio.
Fucking ignore the Lucio. Kill the frozen people. Kill the frozen retards. Guys, no! It's actually a massive fucking blizzard, and we're looking at a nanoed fucking frog. Because he messes up. The minute he's on frog, just ignore him. Like the minute we see him, the minute we, can we? I think we can hear it, or you can even see it here. Like he's on frog, just leave.
They copy Lucio.
Okay, they copied Lucio, so that should be he's copying Lucio. Fucking run at the team like this. Anna here is frozen. We do not kill the Anna. That's such a fucking free kill here. This Anna is so free. See, look, Hydros is just hard calling the Anna. The Anna should die there. That's on a. Okay, funnily enough, I was literally talking like a couple seconds ago about how you shouldn't split and go Reddit, but in situations like this, you can go and one-shot this Anna as the Lucio. Your Diva should be helping too. Like, this is a free kill on this Anna. Someone needs to fucking call that this Anna is frozen and is a free kill, because you just get too drawn into this Lucio. Just for the love of fucking God, someone, it's the same with Shatters, right? Like, you just get too wide-eyed, and you just lose focus. Like, you need to, for the love of God, like, someone needs to, like, hello, can we kill the fucking frozen Anna? Like, Hydros is calling Anna, he's not calling where, he's not calling, like, you can just say Anna frozen, left side payload, kill Anna, like, easy. And it sometimes all it needs is to just wake one person on your team up and she dies. That's all it needs. You could solo kill her there on frog. Like, this fight should be done if we kill the Anna. Because they just have no sustain without the Anna. Like, if we kill that Anna there, their tanks are literally not allowed to live. But we just play this terribly. So we play this terribly, so we have to overrule. This is like a pattern I've noticed with you guys. To be brutally honest, we misplay easy plays. Like, we miss target focus in Blizzard and general shit like that. Like, the easy shit is just general awareness. Like, and I can't coach that, right? But in general shit, like, and it comes from comms, and it's just simple shit, simple fights that you should be winning, you're letting go for reasons of just awareness and general focus and target priority. That means you have to then ult because you lose that fight. Or you have to over ult to make sure you win the fight. So that fucks your ult econ in the next fight.
Okay. Let's go. Sorry, behind us. Okay, they use
McGravy.
Yeah.
Did they use Valk? Did they use Nano? I think they used Nano on their Echo. Yeah, they used Nano on their Echo when she copied Lucio. So they're gonna have Valk, Shatter.
That's it.
And that's it.
I think
Yeah.
they only have Valk Shatter.
Okay. Yeah, and they use brush.
Bomb shatter here then.
This just needs to be quicker. So like, yeah. How long does it take us to ult track?
Shatter. She copied Lucio. So they're gonna have Valk, Shatter.
That's it.
And that's it,
I think
yeah.
they only have Valk shatter.
Okay.
Yeah, they use grab, so.
Yeah, and they use brush.
You can count how long that is. I can't because my brain is not one on numbers. But that's like a good 25 seconds at least, I
Shatter here then,
think.
I guess. Yeah.
Two.
Walk on it.
Either way,
Thanks, man. Look-
that ult track seems way too long because this fight is going on and we still don't have a proper ult plan.
Aggressive
Yeah, walk on
behind
the
if
tracks,
you-
walk on the tracks. Go, 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 go. Oh, actually, we're not here. We're not here. We're not all here. Back.
But why are we not all here? It's just okay. So we lose focus setting up for the fight because it takes us so long to ult track, and now we're down resources. So we need to just bomb this immediately.
Bomb,
Yeah.
bomb.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
All right, send it. Send it. Send it.
You should look to try and bomb the pharmacy.
Oh, I'm dead.
That's a good bomb actually.
Dead.
Bomb.
Okay. Yeah, they have no heals. They have no heals. You can push. You can push them.
No shield, no shield, no shield.
Nice. Dario?
I'm just shooting for you guys here.
I think it's okay to play push here because they have respawn advantage, so you can try and get exit picks. But again, just be careful. Like they have no healers, so
We can hide in here. Just don't-
rushing
don't-
here
don't-
is
don't-
potentially
Behind you.
dangerous.
Are they?
CF, moving.
What?
On cart, wall cart. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, tell me whenever
Okay.
we want to
Yeah.
hide.
Speed high noon now. 3, 2.
Nifty showing his squad W there.
One. Going.
He's on Lucio,
Yeah.
they're trying to get beat.
Fire on the left side.
Like why are they cloning Lucio? Hello?
They're pressuring me so hard.
Yeah.
They have shatter.
Perfect beat.
Bend him, bend him. Rush, okay.
I'm 10.
Yeah.
He's far right. Wait, no shield.
Yeah. Far dead.
Sorry, no personal.
Just not cloning the diva and going on goats. We're champ.
Reloading, sorry.
Up on me.
I guess they clone the Lucio so they can speed you in,
Mercy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
which is kind of 5-head, but you're cloning a fucking fraud,
There,
and like you're never gonna
okay,
build
yeah,
beat in
well,
that time.
sometimes we go in, like on that last, on third.
It's just all to do with your engages and target focus. I'm gonna end the VOD review here, but that's 100% all it is to do with. You guys really need to focus on step 1, your pathing engages. You need to be quicker in ult calls at the start of the fight and your ult plan, because that's taking way too long. And for the love of God, please do not fucking start the fight if you do not have a clear ult plan, and all of you know how you win the fight. Your ult track needs to be quicker. It shouldn't just be dirt, and dirt takes way too long to do it. Which is understandable because he's new to it still. And like ult tracking is hard, so Nifty's molding. She's funny. Anyway, what was I saying before? No, I didn't lose my train of thought. Ult tracking needs to be quicker. Your pathing needs to be a lot cleaner. It's just general focus against the Pharah. Like it's understanding the macro of the hero. Like how your hero, if your hero can help sustain against Pharah when you need to, and how you can. Pharah is just all about punishing like pathing and general awareness. That's really what she punishes. If your pathing is bad and your target focus is bad, and your awareness is bad, like if all three of those are bad, the Pharah will just go donk, and then she'll just like fucking blow your team up, right? But if you're clean, your pathing is crisp, and your target focus is good, and you don't split, for example, it's just general stuff. For some reason on Brawl, we still have the habit of splitting way too much. Our support split, Dirt is here, Finn is still in the back line, Hydros is here, like, Chaotic when he's on Diva is kind of on the micro off angle. Our Lucio and our Reinhardt, and our Mei should kind of be bundled together. Dirt especially, I think, splits from his Mei and his Reinhardt way too much. Our Mei and our Reinhardt stay together decently well, but in order to effectively brawl them, we need to make sure that our Reinhardt is getting the AoE heals from the Lucio, and he's sped into them. And that you can also help Dirt, because you need to be like booping their Mei back in the Brawl mirror. So we split on Brawl way too often. Number 2, target focus is bad. Number 3. There are some positives, right? Like, this is the thing. I'm sounding like a negative Nancy, but it's a VOD review, so I'm trying to improve. The fights that we win are the fights that you do this all properly, and it's really clean. So I know you can do it. It's just you need to focus on it more. So this is the stuff that you guys need to work on. So you split way too much on Brawl. Your target focus can be a bit lazy, which means that you just... It's target priority, right? This is priority. I'm so bad, sorry. I actually should be left-handed, by the way, guys. I did like a dexterity test when I was like 14, 15, and I got a higher score on my left hand. It was like it was basically testing, like they do it for kids if they're like the parents aren't sure. So basically, yeah, like I should actually be left-handed, but I'm right-handed. So this is why my right hand, because it's not my natural mechanical hand. It's still been built up, so like my handwriting's not too bad now, but it used to be terrible because it wasn't my natural hand. But yeah, I should be left-handed, which is always funny to think about. I was just lazy and copied my sister, which is, yeah, because I'm a twin, so. Anyway, no one cares about my stories. Split, focus, target, priority. In particular, it's priority, right? Like, it's a nanoed frog, and there's a blizzard. Like, who the fuck are we looking at? Hello? It's the frozen targets. Always, especially when one of them is Anna. Ult tracking is too slow, and pathing. For example, in King's Row against Pharah, they shouldn't want to play Pharah on King's Row because you just go into Hotel. It's finding inside hard cover and then you speed out onto their tanks, kill them. It's like how you played Goats, right? You went point, you sped onto the tanks, you deleted their tanks, and then you went back inside. It's actually easier now that you have DPS. Like Mei and Reaper, like for example, and shit like that, and Mei and Kree. Like you can flash the Reinhardt. Back in the day, you used to be able to just stun the Reinhardt and you just blew him up. But like if you all focus, like you can still kill the Reinhardt just as quick, or you still kill the tanks just as quick, especially with Mei Wall and Freeze, because then they can't interact with you. Whereas back in the day, like you didn't play Mei, so like the tanks on the floor could like actually cleave with you. But if you have Mei Freeze, like they're frozen and they're perma-stunned, so they can't do shit. That should say pathing. But general, this is everything that you guys need to work on. So you split too much in Brawl, your focus and target priority is bad, especially like during shatters and blizzards. Your ult tracking is too slow, which doesn't help because you're going into fights not with a clear ult plan, and your pathing needs to be a lot better against spam comps as Brawl. It's actually okay if you just want to play dive against spam, just to go dive instead. But on some maps like this, you can play Brawl. Brawl is the optimal pick. Teams shouldn't get away with spam on this map because it's not good. Like if there's no angles to spam, spam is one of those that's like kind of stuffed. Because like on every map, there's going to be an objective that you can go to point and sustain on. Whereas not on every map, there's not going to be sight lines for you to be able to stay back and poke from, for example. And there's going to be natural hard cover, and there's going to be low sty boxes, which means you can't Pharah, for example. Anyway, I'm going to let this upload. See y'all in a bit. Peace.